I come back. I come back again and again to this notion that in meditation in our lives, there's the sense of search, the sense of search um, that follows us through our life. That sense of searching for what, searching for what. We would say, I used to feel this, that I was searching for truth, for the truth. But at the end of the day, speaking for myself, but I think it's a fairly common for us. You can check in with yourself. We really want to feel more deeply at home, more deeply at home. Yeah. Um, spiritually, mentally, physically, heartfully at home. And deep within our own being. And I think often there can be the misconception or the idea that, well, yeah, that's great, but we have to go out there first and do this great search out here, because certainly this is not enough. This simple life, certainly not, I'm not enough. Certainly not. Don't tell me I'm born into fundamental goodness like they talk about in the Eastern cultures. It's a nice idea, but no. I've got to earn it. I've got to prove it. I've got to accomplish some things. I've got to show the world. I've got to show you. I've got to see where I line up with everybody else. I have to keep filling myself up. I have to fill something up here. If I don't keep filling it up, I'm just going to get empty and then nobody's going to like me. I have to keep searching. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. And a lot of mythology is about that. The Wizard of Oz is about that. Is that not the greatest movie of all time? It's the search. It's not little old me in Kansas. This can't possibly be enough. So she and Toto certainly dealt with some of the worldly winds. Yeah. And the great search. Yeah. Which led her back to where? To clicking her heels and closing her eyes. And, oh, there's something that's right here that I've been overlooking in my search. This is one of the great dramas of our lives. We are a consumer society. We are not a contemplative society. We need more out here. Then maybe someday, but not today. Never today. Yeah. And so the holding environment, it really, these Buddhist practices, these practices that we're doing go against the grain of searching out here to find that home place, that deep sense inwardly of feeling at home, that we are enough, that we belong, that we are like a fountain overflowing, that we're okay. We don't buy that. We don't buy that. And we are not wired to buy that. But the practices move us precisely in that direction toward, and I love this word homeostasis, do you know the word homeostasis? Of which the first four letters are HOME. Yeah. It's the organism moving toward home. Homeostasis is a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent elements, leading to the optimal functioning of the organism. Yeah. Now, when we think of the homeostasis, it's generally mentioned in a more along physical lines. The balance of the fluids, the balance of the breath, the balance of the nervous system, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. And but the holding environment is encouraging a movement toward homeostasis, not just in the balancing of the physical elements, but including those. It is about inviting calm to the nervous system, is it not? It certainly is. It certainly is that. We start there. Yeah. But it's also finding equilibrium and balance with the wildness of the mind, you know, with the wild horses traipsing through the landscape of our mind, with the heart, with all of the, with all of the seemingly conflicting energies in there. It's moving to find some harmony there, some acceptance. And even in our inner search, we want to, oh, yep, okay, someday it'll be okay in here, but first I have to rearrange all the furniture. First, oh, no, I'm going to be okay someday. When this no longer arises, when this thought never comes up anymore, when this feeling doesn't, when this mood, when I'm not in this mood anymore. Yeah? See? So even then, in our meditative approach, it's still one of trying to rearrange, of control and rearrange and manage. That's our wiring. You see? So the holding environment itself is going against all of the grain of that. It's saying, yeah, we understand that. That's the pattern. That's the pattern that we bring. And we need to begin to notice that and to notice partly the futility of that, partly that it doesn't serve us, partly maybe that we're tired of it. How's that been working? Finding fulfillment out there, that deeper sense of contentment that we're looking for. Yeah. And then beginning to build it in here, slowly, bit by bit, breath by breath, yeah, as if it's enough now, as if, look at this, it's not something bigger than this. Yes, but the thought world says, oh, but it's got to be more than just the breath. Oh, no, I have more things to think about. I understand. We all have that wild energy. This can't possibly be enough. Yeah. But gradually, this practice is about coming back, simplifying, simplifying, settling, accepting, Yeah? What is the holding environment? It's beginning to settle. And then, as Susan was reminding us yesterday, it's about the guest house. What is that? What is that? What's that approach? It's about welcoming as if they already belong, as if this is one ecosystem. The metaphors that we try to impart, as if it all has a right to be here. That's radical. It's so simple, but it's radical based on our inclination to keep searching out there. Yes, but, oh, this is nice, but. Yeah, that's our pattern. That's part of what we need to see. We need to see all of the ways we leap out and search out. Yeah? We've been doing that our whole lives. Yeah? We're coming in for a landing here. It's a gradual process. How can it not be gradual when we've been moving out for our whole lives? When we've been finding ourselves to not be enough for our whole lives. Yeah, it's not going to be like a light switch. Yeah, but this is the direction. This is the direction of all the Buddhist practices. Finally, seeing the futility of the movement out, away from ourselves, and moving more in, withholding. Not just with observation, but withholding, with tenderness, with care, as if it were enough, as if it were enough. It's not enough, but it's enough. Okay, how about this breath? Could be enough in this breath? Just this breath? Yeah, like that. Baby steps, small steps, coming home, coming back home in the worldly wind, coming back home. So this is truly becomes a refuge here. That refuge, nice concept, refuge. As if it's like, oh, what if I really am home? Just for a few seconds at a time, a couple breaths at a time. Yeah? It's the direction of our practice. It's the direction of the holding environment. It's the direction of all of the practices in Buddhism, is to move us more and more toward that deep sense of contentment and already being at home, more deeply at home with the way things are, with the way things actually are. Yeah?